What if all the ice on Earth melted in just one day? The world as we know it is built on a delicate balance. The frozen regions of the Earth, our polar ice caps and glaciers, are more than just landscapes of snow and ice. They are vital players in the survival of our planet's ecosystem, regulating temperature, ocean currents, and even the very air we breathe. But what if they vanished? What if all the ice on Earth melted in a single catastrophic day? To understand the gravity of this question, we must first comprehend the sheer scale of the ice that covers our planet. Ice sheets on Antarctica and Greenland alone contain around 68% of Earth's freshwater. The glaciers, the ice caps, the frozen tundra, all of it gone, all at once. But what would this mean for the Earth, for us? The consequences are unimaginable, yet terrifyingly possible. Let's begin with Antarctica, the coldest, driest, and windiest place on Earth. It's home to an ice sheet so massive that if it melted, the seas would rise by an astonishing 58 meters. Yes, 58 meters. That's over 190 feet. The result? Major cities like New York, London, Mumbai, and Sydney would be swallowed by the ocean. Vast coastal regions would vanish, creating millions of refugees, flooding entire countries, and rewriting the geography of the world. Now, imagine this on a global scale. Greenland's ice sheet, holding 7 meters of sea level rise, vanishes as well. The impact? A catastrophic flood, not just of cities, but entire nations. Low-lying areas, such as the Netherlands, the Maldives, and Bangladesh, would disappear into the rising seas. But the flooding doesn't stop there. Rivers that once flowed peacefully through the Earth's continents would change course. The rivers feeding into the oceans would no longer be restrained. Entire ecosystems would collapse as saltwater poured into freshwater environments, poisoning crops and wildlife. Farms would flood. Livelihoods would be destroyed. As the ice melts, the sea level would rise rapidly, at least several meters within the first year. That's just the beginning. The warming caused by this ice loss would accelerate the melting process further, creating a vicious cycle. The less ice, the less sunlight is reflected back into space, the more heat is absorbed, and the faster the ice disappears. But this scenario is about more than just water. The ice caps are more than frozen water. They play a crucial role in Earth's climate regulation. As the ice melts, the planet absorbs more heat. The atmosphere becomes warmer, but the oceans are also warming. Warm water melts more ice, and the ice's reflective properties are lost. This shift in the Earth's energy balance would mean an overall increase in global temperatures, possibly by several degrees. In many regions, this would lead to heat waves, droughts, and the complete collapse of agriculture in once fertile regions. The world would no longer experience the predictable weather patterns we depend on. Some areas would become uninhabitable. The tropics would see blistering temperatures. Countries in the Middle East, South Asia, and Africa, already struggling with water scarcity, would be among the hardest hit. The temperature in these regions could soar to unlivable extremes, pushing millions more people to migrate, increasing tensions and possibly leading to geopolitical unrest. Meanwhile, in the oceans, the disappearance of ice would expose previously frozen lands to warmer water currents. Species that once lived beneath the ice, animals like penguins, polar bears, and seals, would face extinction. The world's ecosystems would collapse, the food chain would be disrupted, and humans would feel the brunt of it. The oceans themselves would see a shift. Ice caps are critical in regulating ocean currents. The Gulf Stream, responsible for keeping Europe warmer than it should be, would weaken. This shift would alter the climates of many countries across Europe, possibly bringing an ice age-like climate to parts of the continent. Meanwhile, warmer oceans would produce more intense storms. Hurricanes would grow fiercer, as the oceans, now devoid of their cool cover, swell with heat. The effects would cascade across the planet like falling dominoes, one disaster leading to the next. And all of this would happen with little time for adaptation. Our infrastructure would be overwhelmed. Humanity would face an unprecedented crisis. But this is no fictional disaster. This is a future we've been inching towards for decades. Though it's unlikely that all the ice would melt in a single day, the accelerating effects of global warming are already here. The ice is melting, albeit gradually, and the rise in sea levels, though slow, is undeniable. Coastal cities are already planning for the inevitability of flooding. Coastal regions are preparing for more frequent storm surges. The world is already feeling the early effects. In fact, some scientists believe that if current trends continue, we could see catastrophic changes within this century. While we may not see the total loss of ice in one day, we are on track for significant disruptions in the coming decades. Rising seas, increasing temperatures, and a complete transformation of our planet's climate systems. This what-if scenario is not just a thought experiment. It is a stark warning, a reminder of what is at stake. The ice that has shielded the Earth for millennia is melting, and with it, our planet's stability. What will we do when the ice is gone? What will we leave behind? How will humanity adapt to a world without the cold embrace of the polar ice? The choice is ours. What if we don't act in time? What if we let this future unfold? Text on screen. The next what if awaits.